These are the Transcend Endurance 10 Commandments. They're broad philosophical statements about training that'll just help you see training in a whole new way and just provide a new framework that'll give you actionable information that can carry over into any other training system that you're using, even if it isn't from Transcend Endurance. So follow along with me as I go through my final hard week of this hybrid marathon training program. And I'm gonna give you all 10 of the commandments as we go along. And at the end of the week, it's gonna culminate in my 20-mile run. Let's go.
Number 1, the human body was designed to move and to love doing it. At a young age, all of us start out in life as toddlers loving to move, running, jumping, playing. We get psychological joy out of just the act of exercise itself. And by the age of 10, our culture just bamboozles us all, or most of us, out of this, just psychologically healthy relationship with exercise. And we develop this no pain, no gain mentality where just exercise and moving just is painful and miserable, and it needs all this grit. And many of us just stop moving for the rest of our lives. We can love exercise. We can love to lift, we can love to jump, we can love to play for our entire life. I just finished up with the Zone 2 run in my last marathon, hard peaking week at the beginning of the week, and I'm still tired. My legs are tired right now. But it was pretty easy, to get myself to do this because it's not something I hate doing. I actually like the act of exercise itself during it. Many of us just do our easy runs too hard. Our easy runs should be enjoyable during them at a Zone 2 pace or a Zone 2 heart rate. We should be able to just get in a nice autopilot zone and just get in the flow of things and enjoy the act of exercise. And this allows us to have a healthy psychological relationship, and it allows us to be recovered by the time we do our next high intensity run. And then we can just send it and enjoy high intensity during it as well. It's not all gonna be sunshine and rainbows every single day. Some days you're gonna have to have the discipline to do it, but it's much easier to have the discipline to do something that you love versus doing something that you hate. So that's how you create habit for life. Number 2, embrace the process along the way. It is so easy to get wrapped up in the end goal, whether that's how fast you go on race day, how strong you can hit that lift in that competition, or even, things normally in day-to-day life. We're always thinking about the future, and we just miss out on so many good things in the present. So that ties into loving to exercise and having a good, healthy psychological relationship. Because if all we care about is the end goal, maybe losing weight or what we're gonna look like in the future, that means we don't actually accept ourselves currently. I'm not saying we shouldn't have long-term and short-term goals, but we can't just delve on those and just dwell on them with everything that we have, because it just wrecks us in the moment. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the training, and that'll help you make better long-term decisions. If we're just thinking about the future, a lot of times we can do way too much too fast and push on that gas pedal too hard for too long, and it breaks ourselves. But if we're just trying to enjoy it along the way while having a long-term goal in mind, that's how you make consistent progress for years. Number 3, our bodies are forged like metal with fire and water. The fire is the hard training that we do, the high intensity run, which I just got done with, and I'm doing my cool down. The fire is the hard lifting for endurance, the hard lifting on the legs. And the water is the recovery in between our harder sessions. Could be your low intensity run. Tomorrow's gonna be just a treadmill walk for me, taking it extra easy, just cooling the body down It's all the good food that you eat. It's the sleep. It's getting good sunlight so that your body has natural, healthy circadian rhythms. You know, it's doing your stretching. It's doing your deep tissue massage. That's the water. It's having a healthy psychological relationship with exercise, you know, so that you're not overly stressed. You know, it's so many of us just douse our bodies with fire every single day. We never give it a break. But it's during the recovery that we get better. All right. Don't overdo it. Like metal, our bodies are forged with fire and water. Number 4, it's better to be consistent with less than inconsistent with more. The number one reason I see people get injured or they just plateau and don't see gains anymore is they just try to do way too much, too fast, and it's unsustainable. I would rather you do just a little bit to get better year round, you know, than a lot and then just yo-yo up and down and get hurt. Right? Today, I just finished up with my lower body strength training, or I'm almost finished. And I'm throwing all of my chips into this marathon peaking phase right now. I'm in my final week, and I only did one set of everything today because I am just riding that line, you know, it's called functionally overreaching. And I only really do this when I'm in a peaking phase before a race and I'm about to go into a taper. And you gotta earn that taper. But I'm being flexible and I'm only doing one set of all my, you know, lower body strength movements. I didn't do much volume on the upper body, less than I had programmed on paper. But I don't wanna skip the stuff, I wanna touch on it. And you know what? I'm still stronger this week, even though that's what I've done the last several weeks. I'm still somehow getting stronger with hardly any volume. It's same thing with the running volume. If you just try to do way too much too fast, you're gonna get an overuse injury. You're gonna burn out. Gradually increase your mileage. You know, who cares if all of a sudden you're doing 6 days a week if you just burn out after a month. So choose your schedule and your volumes wisely. I'd rather you do a little bit year round than a lot in just 1 month. Number 5, train the effort. The pace will follow. I program with just heart rate ranges, how hard you're supposed to breathe, and then I use pace, just a range of where you should be at on your runs. I see so many running programs just programmed by pace. And then on some days, that pace is too fast for the intended benefit of that day. So say it's supposed to be a zone 2 easy run and you feel bad, and then that 10-minute mile pace is now zone 3. Well, now you did not get the benefits of low intensity, which you need a lot of the days a week. And then all of a sudden, all of your low intensity runs start going just too fast. You burn out, you plateau because you're just doing an incredibly high amount of zone 3. All right, so we program the intensity and then we watch our pace get faster over time at the same intensity. Whether that's just nose breathe and boom, now, you know, a year later, you can nose breathe 2 minutes per mile faster maybe. Right now in this peaking marathon phase, I've watched my marathon intensity, so, you know, low 150 beats per minute, easy mouth breathing. I've watched that on my first run go from like a 740 minute mile pace. Now it's about 725 minute mile pace over just 3 weeks. So you can see incremental progress over time just by programming the intensity and getting the benefits out of that session for that very specific adaptation you're looking for. This also is what works in the weight room as well. People live and die by percentages, and some days, you know, that weight of that 1 rep max or that percentage of that 1 rep max is just too heavy for you that day. So that's why we use reps in reserve, which is how heavy it feels in proximity to failure. All right, all my lifting programs are based on that. And it just works well in the long run because it allows you to just go heavier or faster on days that you feel good, and then allows you to go slower or go lighter on days that you feel bad, so that you can just keep going week after week, month after month, year after year, and auto-regulate your training. Oh, you're probably wondering what the heck I'm doing this morning. I'm doing, instead of a treadmill walk, I had to lay down fertilizer on 2 acres of land on my house. So that is counting as my treadmill walk today, after my high intensity run yesterday and my lower body lift. So I'm taking it easy. You know, that's that water the next day. Number 6, build a powerful engine and a strong mindset. You need 2 things to be successful in endurance sports: grit and metabolism. Grit is pretty self-explanatory, but metabolism is how fast your body can create energy. And the more energy you can create, the faster you're going to be able to move your body. In order to have a strong metabolism, we need to train both low intensity and high intensity. High intensity most people get, and with the American, mindset of no pain, no gain, a lot of us just do only high intensity. But low intensity builds so many adaptations that you cannot get from high intensity. It builds a powerful aerobic engine, and it allows for you to just have a very strong metabolism, and it boosts your high intensity performance as well. It's the foundation of it. You can't out-grit your way out of a slow metabolism. That's what I want you to remember. Your training needs to be productive and correct. And you know what? Low intensity really doesn't require any grit, especially on your short, zone 1 to 2 runs. Like, you're literally just supposed to relax and go into autopilot, which is what I did today. And you know what? I ran faster than I have recently, and it didn't require any grit whatsoever. It did require some discipline. We need to train both. The longer the endurance event, the more grit you need to have. But especially in the military, I just see every workout has to be just grit oriented, and then they never actually train low intensity correctly. So do it right and just relax into those zone 2 runs. Train for performance, not appearance. So many of us, all we know is either powerlifting or bodybuilding programs. Bodybuilding programs obviously are only going to boost your appearance. Very rarely do they improve your performance. And powerlifting is going to just focus on absolute strength. But, I can spot a powerlifter a mile away when they try to run. They just look like bricks just waddling down the road, and they don't move well. There's so many things, it's too much to get into right now, that'll help improve your performance outside of the weight room. All sorts of lateral and rotational core movements, things where we're just challenging our hips, our hamstrings, our calves, our balance. These are gonna help us. Single-sided movements. We also don't wanna use running to lose weight. If we're just trying to lose weight with running, it's a dangerous, slippery slope mentally, because now we're gonna be doing a caloric deficit, and running is very highly impactful. And your joints need to recover from that, and they need the nutrients. They need the calcium and the collagen, the fat content of your diet, all right? And a whole lot of other things. But try to just improve your performance long enough, both inside the weight room and then with running, and eventually you will lean out, but that should not be the end goal, because you're just not gonna be happy with yourself mentally in the long run. And lastly, there's 2 things, just like in the last commandment, that are gonna lead to success in the weight room. Now we're talking about strength, muscle size, and belief. Muscle size is gonna help you get stronger, but only so far. There's some very big people with a lot of muscle that aren't that strong relatively. And there's some very strong people that are a lot lighter than me that can lift a whole lot more than me, like 3 times more than I can at 50 pounds body weight less. And how do they do that? One, they train long enough and they train in the right way, and they also have extreme belief in what they're doing. The old world record deadlift set by Eddie Hall was a huge jump, and he just put his all into it. And he trained with cognitive performance psychologists and therapists and things like that. And he got into an out-of-body experience where he lifted that weight. There's tons of, documented cases of parents lifting cars off of their kids in the heat of the moment. So that's a combination of adrenaline and belief. All right. I'm telling you this because if you believe that running is going to make you weaker, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy because it's going to lower your belief. So don't let it get you down. You can make so much progress for a long period of time with both strength and endurance at the same time, simultaneously, if you believe in yourself in the weight room. So no more excuses. Get it done.
Eat real food, enjoy real health. Really, just eat a variety of whole foods, organic when possible, minimal preservatives. So whole foods, like single ingredient foods as best you can. It's not gonna be perfect. A variety of all of these food groups. Meat, grass-fed beef from Sam's Club, very affordable now. Even organic, I go with a lot of that. Healthy fats in the forms of nuts, seeds, healthy oils, avocado oil, olive oil. Butter is also a good one. Don't be afraid of fruits, all right? A variety of those as well, all of the different colors. Vegetables. I mass produce vegetables. I either cook them up in a soup pot or I stir fry them. Beet juice every day. Don't be afraid of potatoes. That's also considered a vegetable. Whole grains, great for fiber, all right? Great with pasta. Dave's bread is one of my favorites. And dairy. Fairlife milk is one of my favorites. It's got more protein, less sugar than normal milk, and it's lactose free. I also eat a lot of the Fage Greek yogurt. That one's good for my stomach as well. So don't overthink it in a world where all of these extreme diets will cut out a lot of these food groups. You need the micronutrients from all of these things. And it's very easy to follow just a balanced whole food diet mentally, where you're not cutting out so many things that you just end up yo-yoing year round.
Stress, when reperceived, leads to growth. This is the glass half full mentality, where optimism is key. You could perceive anything, in life as either a stressor or something that you can learn from and something that you can reperceive into something positive. Like say you just lost your house, to a tornado. You could perceive that as, wow, this is going to be financially horrible. Like, what am I going to do? Or you could reperceive it as being grateful that you're still alive, And just darn near anything you do in life, exercise, work, all of it, it can be used internally as something that builds you into something better. Or it could be used and just kind of just break you down over time and just lead to just toxicity for your entire life. So it's about the small things every day and how we handle them. So it's 20-mile run day. And I didn't get a good night's sleep last night. I got home late. I was very restless. My stomach is kind of bothering me. And it's a good 12 degrees hotter on this one day of the week. And it's going to return to normal temperature tomorrow. So I'm having to go through a lot of mental challenges. But you know what? There's never going to be a race day that's going to be perfect. The race day nerves, I'm going to get a bad night's sleep the night before just because of those. So this is a good mental rehearsal for that. The heat, it's going to challenge me. I'm going to be more dehydrated on this run than probably the marathon. So it's really forcing me to just get comfortable with it. And you know what? If the temperature's cold on the marathon, I'll feel great. But if it's hot, I'll be mentally prepared for it because of this run today. So, I'm reperceiving it and trying to have the best glass half full I can, but every day's one day at a time.
20 miles done.
and I did well. There was ups and downs, and it took everything I had and a lot of strength from the Lord up above. This brings us to number 10. Lastly, and most importantly, believe in Jesus and place your faith in him. I'm not trying to be pushy or order you around or anything like that, but I just want to tell you that I believed for my entire life, but until last December, I didn't truly put my faith in him. I didn't put him above everything else in my life. And I didn't put him as just the most important thing. And I didn't go all in. And when I did, it was just the best thing that has ever happened to me. I'm a whole different person now. And I've been more at peace than ever before. And I'm just loving life because I've just got some true purpose now. And I just wish that everybody could share with this. So that's all 10. I hope you like them. If you're still around, thank you. Until next time.